Hey guys, Ozzy back. So, it's been kind of a crazy week. Figured we'd pop in here real quick. I'd let you know what's been going on, and then we'll get right into the video. So, as you guys know, Lauren was away for the weekend. I got sick over the weekend. I wasn't feeling good. I was better by around Monday. As you guys know, I put up my big video on Wednesday. That one took me quite a bit. I hope you guys took the chance to watch it. Talking about the 10 things that only adults might notice in Thundercats. It was a really fun project, and I'm looking forward to doing more like that. In fact, this might actually be a little bit like that. We'll see. That one did get me a copyright claim. It's nothing bad. It just means that that one can't be monetized at any point. But it's a way to possibly get some more views and get some more people onto the page. So I don't mind having some videos that aren't monetized as long as it doesn't affect my channel itself. If I get a strike, then I'm going to know I'm not going to be able to do that anymore. But with fair use laws, I should be able to use some things here and there. So that was Wednesday, or actually that was, kind of Tuesday and into Wednesday. My box came in yesterday for this month for my Transcendent channel, and I did an opening last night. But in between when the box came in and everything else, Lauren informed me that a friend of hers was having to get rid of their dog and needed it to go to someone. We've been talking on and off, more on than off, about getting a dog for the kids and everything. It's kind of been a hard decision to come to. Lauren's cousin was going to give us a couple dogs at the time, but we started thinking about it, and they were two bigger dogs. They're older, they're used to living on like 80 acres, so to come to our little itty bitty plot of land, we didn't think it was the best idea. But this person was giving away a Maltese. I don't know what it is, but Maltese I've always just, I think they're cute. They're cute little dogs. And the one we got, she's really good. She's quiet. She's actually down here right now. I might actually pause this for a minute just so you guys can get a look at her. As long as you look past the little bit of dirty that's around here, because I am going through some home renovations and stuff like that. So there's a lot going on right now. But she's just laying on the floor down here with me because Lauren is out right now. She had a meeting she had to go to. So me and Princess came downstairs to work down here. She sat on my lap for a good amount of time, and now she's just laying down taking a nap. So I think what I'm going to do is pause this real quick so I can give you guys a look at the new addition to our family, Little Miss Princess. So this is Princess. Princess is our new little Havanese puppy. Well, as you guys can probably tell, any of you that know dogs, she is not really a puppy. Are you, Princess? No, Miss Princess is 8 years old. And look at that happy girl. And look at this. We just got her today a brandy new collar. Let me make sure I show the right side, because I don't want you guys seeing my address right yet. So there she is, Princess. That's my new little girl. Alright, so that was Princess. She is our new dog. She's 8 years old. The kids are going to go crazy when they get here. I plan on bringing her very soon to get her face cleaned up a little bit, get the hair trimmed up. I can't bring her for a full wash and cut right yet because we have to wait a while. Every groomer that I've attempted to contact has a waiting list of at least a couple weeks. But while we were down today picking up her new collar, her new little ID tag that has her name and then our phone number and address on the back, so if she gets lost, she can be returned to us. And the one thing that I absolutely positively needed was poopy bags for picking up dog poop. So we picked up all that kind of stuff for her today, and while we were out doing that, we brought her with us because we were going down to PetSmart, and as you guys know, you can bring your dog into PetSmart. So Little Miss Princess came with us, and we went down into PetSmart, and I talked to the groomer while I was there. They said it would be a couple of weeks before they could get her in for a full groom, but if I can get all of her information from the vet showing she's had her rabies shot and she's up to date on everything else, I can bring her in as a walk-in to just get her face trimmed, so I can get that fur out of her face and have her a little bit more happy. For a dog like that, during the summer, it's really good for their face to be open. She's been panting quite a bit because the face, with the pushed-in nose and everything that Havanese have, they really need to have that kind of cleaned out. I really want to make sure that she's healthy for as long as we have her. And of course, like I said, I needed to pick up poopy bags because I brought her out 3 times this morning and she pooped every time. And I didn't have poopy bags. And I don't want the neighbor's dogs pooping in my yard and me having to pick it up, so I don't want my dog pooping in the neighbor's yards and them having to pick it up. Common courtesy, you guys know that. So, that's what's going on in my life. I know I deviated from what this channel usually, what I'm trying to make this channel, but you guys know every once in a while you're going to get a life update from me. What's going on with me? How are things going? I like to talk. I'm sorry, guys. I hope it doesn't offend anyone, but I do. So, what are we talking about today? Well. Let me stop this video here so I can put this anywhere that I want it. Or actually, I'm going to pause it for just a quick second so I can grab a few things. So, I'm assuming most of you guys know who this is. That spiky hair. That tail. That blue gi. That red power pole. The flying nimbus that he's on. It's Goku. This is old school DB Goku, not DBZ. That's Dragon Ball Goku. That's Goku back in the day. That's the Goku that I grew up with. That's the Goku I used to watch in the mornings before going to school. So, I thought what we should do is talk a little bit about one of my obsessions. The thing that ultimately got me into anime. I always liked cartoons growing up. You guys know that. I believe I mentioned it in the other day's video about the Thundercats. Well, anime I found a little bit later, when Dragon Ball was first airing in the US here, is when I first found it. And to me, it was, as a younger kid, it was a revelation. It was a cartoon, but it didn't feel like that cartoon. The story didn't end usually after just one episode. A lot of stories growing up, including Thundercats, and they did have multiple part ones, but a lot of times everything was wrapped up in that half hour. Everything had a nice little bow on it. And as someone like me who has always had that bent for writing, for creativity, for things like that, it was always an issue for me watching a lot of those episodes, because as they get to the end of that half hour, the way they just wrap everything up very suddenly, the way they could always seem to find what they needed right in that last second to defeat the evil or whatever was going on. It always felt forced, to be honest. I always liked multiple episode arcs, because for me, it was a chance to really tell that story. And when I first started watching this, when I first started really watching Dragon Ball, to me it was amazing. This was a show that as you went from one episode to the next, you were picking up right where you left off from the previous story. There was no question of, is this happening within the same continuity, or are we looking at something that is out of time? Like, if you guys watched the Thundercats, especially that first season, there is the anointment of Lion-O in that first season, and the issue with that is it's a multi-part story. It's told over like 5 different parts, but they're not back to back. But as they speak about it in the story, you see part 1, and then they're saying that tomorrow is going to be part 2. And then it's maybe like 4 episodes before you get to part 2. So there's all this stuff that happens in between, and then you get to part 2. And it's all kind of like, it's almost like filler episode if you were watching something like this, where they needed to add because the manga hadn't caught up or what have you. But it always was annoying to me that they did it like that, because I wanted to see the continuity of the story. I wanted to go back each time and see each part. So I really like that multi-story thing where it made it feel like there was a lot going on. And anime, well, Dragon Ball was giving me that. And then as I progressed and got a little older, I started Dragon Ball Z. I got deep into that. And then I started getting into other animes. Now, as you guys know, I've already talked about it on this channel. What this channel is about. It's Oz opinions. It's my opinions on things. We did a cartoon one already, but that was a cartoon, a television show. Anime's different. I know a lot of people are going to tell you it's animated, so therefore it's a cartoon. It's not. A Western cartoon. A cartoon that is typically for the audience here. Something that has been, throughout the years, geared toward kids and things like that. Has always been about snippets, about bite size, about getting the message across within that half an hour to that 20-minute to half an hour time frame, with commercials and everything, selling, but in that time frame, giving that moral lesson or whatever it was, but beginning, middle, and end of that story within that half hour. They wanted to tell almost anthology stories with a basic connection, being that you're following the same characters and everything that you've seen happen before follows within the story, but it was never really in depth the way anime was. You start that travel with Goku and you follow him through that first arc, which is, gathering together the Dragon Balls and everything. And then from there, you move on to other arcs with his training, with the tournaments, with the Red Ribbon Army, with King Piccolo. It's one thing after another. Each arc leads into something else, but each thing has its own storyline. But it's not typically a single episode that a story is told and done with. You're getting multiple episodes. As you get to Dragon Ball Z, you start getting even bigger episodes where you got the Saiyans and you've got the Frieza saga. Some of these arc across 30, 40, 50, 60 episodes sometimes of a story arc that sees a character going through whatever, a fighting tournament or what have you. And this was, to me, the storytelling that I'd been looking for. This was what I had wanted as a writer in the shows I was watching. So anime really grabbed my attention and held on. You guys can see I'm wearing an anime t-shirt. You guys have seen my home office. I have, behind Rick and Morty here, is anime stuff and television stuff. On my other wall, you've seen my display case that is full of anime. I spent 2 years as a member of the Otaku Box, getting a box every month. I've got a ton of these shirts, all with different characters. I've got figures. I've got anime stuff everywhere. That was my thing, and it still is. I love anime. If I get a chance to get more figures and more shirts, I'm going to buy it. But it's definitely something that became a part of my life. And it was this little guy that did it. It was Goku and Bulma. In that first episode that really grabbed my attention, to see the story the way it was told, to see the character designs that they had, the interactions that they wrote, to see this character that just had all this power but was so innocent. Typically when we see these characters who are OP, they can be jerks, they can be, arrogant, and just... Goku was just a kid. And even to this day in Dragon Ball Super, at heart, he's still this little kid. He is still this little guy on Nimbus. He is still that child that Bulma met in the woods. If you guys have little ones, like I've got 4 daughters, and you're trying to get them into anime, a great place to start for any kid would be Dragon Ball. Yeah, not all of it is child friendly. Master Roshi can be a little risque, but this is animation from Japan. Things are a little bit different. This wasn't really ever meant for kids, but is it for the most part kid friendly? Yeah, especially since a lot of it was then released on like Adult Swim and stuff. So a lot of the American release of this, things have been toned down anyways. So you'll see Goku running around and everything, swimming and doing his stuff naked, but you won't see genitalia. Usually they'll blur it out. Maybe you'll see a butt crack or something like that, but you don't get that full Monty, shall we say. And yeah, Master Roshi's perverted and everything, but if your kids are young enough, you can kind of explain it away, or just laugh at it and ignore it. I know when I was a kid and I was watching it, I didn't understand everything he was talking about. I understood a lot. I didn't understand everything. But I was watching that, first thing in the morning when I was getting ready for school. My parents weren't up and watching it with me. They didn't know. But even if they had, I was old enough to watch stuff like that anyways. For a beginner anime, if you're a person out there who's thinking of getting into anime, be careful when it comes to the fandoms, because, and this isn't just anime, this has become almost every kind of show and every kind of fandom I have found lately. It's very toxic. You will get people that if you say something bad about a particular character, like if you say that Vegeta ain't all that, you're gonna get a ton of people who are diehard Vegeta fans that are going to attack you. So if you're going to go on message boards, on Facebook groups and stuff like that, and you're going to talk about anime, and at this point pretty much anything, be careful. Understand that what you say is going to be controversial to someone, and with the anonymity of the internet, people are very happy to come right back and say something to you without any kind of repercussion, thinking they're not going to get any kind of repercussions. And I've been blocked and sent away from groups for defending myself after someone else attacked me. So you have to be careful what you say and how you say it. Or if you're like I've gotten to be lately, you just deal with it. You just You say your opinion, and then you let people berate and say whatever they want about you, and you just ignore it. If they're going to get really toxic and they're going to attack you, you can always report it to the group admins, or you can report it to Facebook itself if they're going to do direct attacks at you for no reason. But for the most part, just ignore it. But it's a good place to start for a lot of people. Anime can be very hard for some people to get into. It's hard for a lot of people, especially adults, to get into the idea that it's okay to watch cartoons, or what is considered cartoons, or what some people consider cartoons, or just an animated thing. Over the years, animated television shows, animated movies have been catered kind of toward children, but if you think about it, a lot of times there's been a lot of things that have not. The Flintstones. Any of you around my age or older will remember the Flintstones being on TV. And yeah, as the 70s, the later 70s and the 80s came around, they did kind of make it into a Saturday morning cartoon and everything. But initially, it was not meant for kids. A lot of the jokes in there, if you go back and watch them now, as someone my age, these younger kids might not get it, but as someone like my age would notice, a lot of these jokes would have been over our heads as kids, would have been way over our parents' heads as kids. But now, the kids don't even, it doesn't faze them. But it's always been like that. The Family Guy, Rick and Morty. Why do you think there's the Adult Swim, and it's populated with animated shows that are meant for adults? Because there's a want for it out there. There's those of us out there who enjoy watching animated whatever, whether it be movies or television shows or even shorts on other platforms or what have you. There's always going to be a niche for it, and there's always going to be those of us who are going to be drawn to it. But there's always going to be detractors as well, like anything else in life. There's always going to be detractors. Your best bet, find something you like and stick with it. I did that years ago when I found Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball Super, the superhero movie, is coming out soon. And I'm looking forward to seeing it. I am all caught up. I have seen everything Dragon Ball. I even, when I started working at Comcast back in 2007, I met up with a bunch of guys that were in my training class. And we got pretty tight during the time when we were working there. And we actually went and saw the Dragon Ball Evolution movie when that came out. And we also got into, this is how I started getting into and watching YouTube, was back then. I started watching Team 4 Star's Dragon Ball Z Abridged. I was so devastated earlier this year when I found out they wouldn't be going to the Boo saga, that the Cell saga was the end of it, which admittedly back in the day was how Z was supposed to end when it was aired. It was supposed to be the Cell saga was the end of it. Boo saga was never initially supposed to be a part of it. It came about afterward. And then we got GT and now Super. So it's been expounded upon and it's been added to over the years. But the initial thing of it was supposed to end after the Cell saga. So it found a resurgence because of popularity. Almost like how Family Guy was on and then was canceled and everybody was so distraught over it that there was petitions and everything to get it brought back. And we ended up, now we're on, I think, 15, 16, if not more seasons of Family Guy. Look at The Simpsons running for closer to 40 years now than a lot of things. It's been running for a very long time. So that means there's a market for it out there. And if you watch any of those type of shows, but you're not sure if you should try anime, give it a shot. And if you watch those shows try DB or Dragon Ball Z. A lot of the humor that's in there is kind of along the same lines. It definitely has that shonen feel, which is a male protagonist who is typically has a bunch of power. It's definitely a worthwhile watch. Take the opportunity, take a few minutes out of your day, and check out Dragon Ball. And by the way, guys, if you haven't already, go down to the bottom and click that thumbs up like button. Also, if you're not already a subscriber, click that subscribe icon. If you are already a subscriber, thank you. And if you did both of those things, find the notification icon and click on that so you'll get notified anytime I upload new content. As you guys already know, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday is my upload schedule. Right now, I'm looking to do one anime video a week, one television show video a week, and then the other video will either be a product or a service review. That should be the schedule that I'm trying to work out for here. Don't forget to check out my other channels. If you're over 18, please go and check out Transcendent by Ozzy. If you're into medical marijuana and stoner culture, that is a place for you. But please, if you are under 18, do not go to that. That is for 18 years or older only. If you're into retro or mobile gaming, go check me out on Ozzy's Casual Gaming. I will put a couple of links, a couple of cards up there somewhere. Keep an eye out for them throughout the video. I'll link my other accounts, as well as putting up some videos from this channel and maybe a playlist or something like that. So keep an eye, if you're on a computer or on your mobile, keep an eye up in that corner there. Something's going to pop up. I don't know what, I don't know when, but keep an eye up there. If you're watching this on a TV, enjoy. It's great. I love doing it. I do that while I'm working. So, guys, again, I know I already said it just a minute ago, but I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Ozzy out. Bye.